All right, get cost control here. We're gonna have to sell, and we can go for 2 tanks right away. I like cost control because of the ability to do this. We don't have that much time. Need to set this up properly. This could just be like here. Might have messed up my placements a little bit, but it's not a huge deal. So what is Hasburg? He's got the Rhino spec. Hasburg is pretty high up there right now, to 2,500. He, you know, he must know how to deal with the sledge spam. We're like 2 days away from the, 1 or 2 days away from the nerf. So this might be one of the last times we play against someone of this caliber with the sledge spam. So phantom rays, wasps, probably just go wasps because the wasps counters the phantom rays. And usually you'll see if he cheeses you, it'll be here. Okay, just go into 3 more tanks. This probably needed to be here, but just kind of ran out of time there preparing the microphone and everything. Wasn't planning on recording. Could do this, or we could do this. Just depends if he's going to switch sides, right? Or maybe this is better, so it's more in the middle. Okay, so it's phoenixes. We have to respect the phoenixes, right? Because the phoenixes will just wipe out our they'll wipe out our sledges pretty quick. We do, the good thing is we do have these wasps which kind of counter the phoenixes, and we could look into getting another pack of wasps, but usually you want the marksman to counter the phoenixes. So I'm not sure how far I want to take this wasp play. Probably just a skip. There's nothing really that needs to get upgraded. We'll sell out of this. Go to mech rage right away, I think. Probably just keep going tanks. There's no reason necessarily for us to go into a another wasp, but we could consider just getting a marksman here since you have the extra deploy. Okay, Scorpion on round 3. First Scorpion comes out. That is the perfect response. I think Scorpion does beat tanks if they come out in round 3. So I think it's a really good move from him. What we're going to need to do now is to go for shielded fangs and eventually maybe like armor wasp. However, the problem is he's already has phoenixes, so now that makes it a problem. If he goes into mustangs, then the armor wasp doesn't, armor wraith won't actually do anything here. But I'm feeling pretty good about this. We have an overwhelming number of tanks here. And Hasburg, you know, he hasn't played, I don't think we've played him that many times, so I'm not sure exactly where he's at in terms of his ability to counter this. He might be currently one of the best players in the world, but doesn't mean that necessarily he can beat the sledge spam. That's the question. Haste module on this seems good. I am worried about the MP. That could easily ruin our plans. I don't know how much this armor cannon is doing. It might be doing something. The question is, do you go range right away, or do you like prepare for the EMP to come down? There's some questions I have. I'm preparing for the EMP to come down, so in that case, do I not go range? I think we need to set up the flanks. Flank probably isn't a horrible idea here. Could even consider a Fang instead, since we're definitely going to go into shielded wasps. The Fang will, with the shield, will prevent a missile from doing anything. And I kind of feel like it's almost time to just get range, but yeah, it probably is time to get range. Do you put down a shield, or do you just go for the attack? Am I taking too much of a chance here with the EMP being available? Okay, so nice pull. There's not much he's got on the right side, so I don't know about how important a pull there is. We certainly will need probably will need something for the probably will need those shielded fangs pretty soon, because those scorpions are starting to increase in number. That being said, he's sub 2k, right? I think you need the arm or the underground threat here, because we just need more chaff. Probably could put it like here. Makes sense to upgrade everything. And I wonder if you go for the shield now, or just more tanks. I feel like more tanks are not bad here, especially given the money that we have. Wouldn't mind another wasp here perhaps as well. Yeah, you know, I'm tempted to just go more tanks here, because just feel like, you know, we have the perfect amount of deploys just to go for 3 more tanks. So why not just build the full line, right? Okay, so some stuff gets pulled, but thankfully it's not that much. You're wondering if you need AP, but you know, we just have so many tanks that you know, on the left side, you know, the overwhelming number of tanks is making this, you know, even the scorpions, the scorpions aren't doing enough. Okay, so advanced speed system for sure. And now we start flanking his other side. Okay, so do we go for the AP shells right now? I think so. Like, he can go for the loose formation, but I don't know. I don't know here. Like, I think it's another Fang, or it's another, like, Phoenix. I think you have to go AP at this point. I mean, what else are you going to do with your money? Right, so let's make it another Fang. We probably start borrowing. Probably want to have something here for the missile. And now we start borrowing. Go into missiles. Right, a missile here. Probably like a missile here. Maybe like a missile here. Range speed, or do we go for the armor? I think range speed, and then maybe just another missile here. So hopefully the missiles will clear out like his chaff, and the AP will just win us the game. Maybe we win the game right away. If we do win the game, honestly, I don't feel proud about this. This doesn't feel like we deserve to win because of how easy this was. Maybe we won't win. Okay, there's actually some late fangs. So I hope he has another opportunity here, because I mean, you know, clearly the tanks are too strong, which is why they're getting nerfed. And you could just see that, you know, for us, we're not doing anything. Okay, so Phantom Rays into the Phoenix. I mean, the Phantom Rays could be good for fire. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Or we just kind of go all in with the Fang Shield. I don't see the Phantom Ray doing that much unless we're going fire. Right? Do we just go fire right now, or is that going to throw? Like, I feel like you need the fire right now. It's kind of rough here. It's kind of hard to say here. I don't want to do anything stupid here, but let's just, because now it's our game to lose, right? We're not, you know, it's very hard for us to lose. So if we go for the Phantom Rays, we go oil. It's tough to go for something that delivers the fire. We just, all right, let's just do it. You know we need oil. We know we need a source of fire. So we'll go for the dog. Where's the dog? Okay. Click the fire. Maybe another fire here. And then another Phantom Ray here. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we are hoping that it does work. Probably need some shields though. However, we don't have any time left. And now is the moment of truth. Did we throw with the going for the fire? Are our dogs just like, how come the fire is only in the middle? Right? Did we mess something up? Did we give him an opportunity to win? Or are we still going to win anyways? Feels like we're going to win anyways here. Actually, it's super close. Maybe we threw the game. Okay. You don't, I mean, I'm glad that he's, you know, we're giving him a chance to come back, but I'm not glad with the result here. So now you need to go for the EMP. Now we start shielding. Because what happened, actually, you know what, you only need a shield for the EMP, right? Don't necessarily need a shield for the late fangs. Alright, so now we go into shielded fangs. The fire here, the fire here. I think it was just a lack of, like, the fire wasn't exactly correct. We probably need another fire guy here. So we're wasting so many deployments on this, like just on this so-called fire, but I don't know what else to do. We've kind of painted ourselves into a corner. We didn't need to, but now we're forced to just play fire, pretty much. He could easily counter this with some kind of like missile interceptor, probably. Okay, I'm glad I put down the shield here, but it's not going to solve the problem here. And yeah, this is going to be also a bit of an issue, so... Yep, looks like we might have thrown the game. You know, there's a fine line between going for something that's... like, you feel in the bottom of your heart that the fire is going to work, but then at the same time, you haven't really quite tested it out, this theory, and you end up like, you know, trying to make these plays like kind of right off the top of your head. We do win, by the way, and quite often quite often you end up making a huge mistake. Like this Phantom Ray, I think, was a mistake. How many deployments did we have to go into, right? The only good thing is that he had to put some stuff here and he didn't go into like loose formation. I just want to see if this was a good idea. All right, so we're on the round that we maybe could have thrown. And I think we just, we get this, we sell out of it, and let's just see what's going on here. We can still do a lot of things. We can go healing, but you don't want healing. You probably want shield on the fangs, right? Because there's a million missiles coming out. In retrospect, this seems like such a better play. Maybe even go for a wasp. An oil probably isn't bad. Maybe go for another wasp here and go like wasp shield. Or like wasp range or wasp or a wasp. Or EMP. Maybe just wasp shield. Let's just see how this goes. The Hasburg, on the verge of losing, goes for 5 missiles. We counter that with the Fang shield. Now we have shielded wasps coming in. And boom, even the missile doesn't do anything. But how's the rest of the board looking? It's not looking great, to be honest. Very similar result, actually. Very similar result. Even though we did something completely different. Well, I don't know what we're supposed to do then. I mean, shielded, are you just supposed to put shields down for the fangs so they don't lose that first, like, tick? Surely it's not healing, right? Because this is 28k. Would it ever be like, would it just be like would it just be like, I wonder if it's just shields, right, for the missile. And what about like mass wasp? Because mass wasps makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Right, because once you kill the phoenix, you pretty much just win, right? So definitely get a shield on the wasp. And perhaps just another wasp. His phoenixes are all on this side, so you're probably just going in here. Might as well click the armor, or maybe we go for our own missiles, right? Since our chaff clear is so bad, maybe that's what we need. Just feels like he doesn't have anything for the wasps. And that's a lot more of a convincing of a victory, right? So I was wrong about the Fang shield. I really thought the Fang shield was what we needed. Maybe you need the Fang shield and you need the actual shield. Okay, so just get one wasp here just for fun. Get the armor, or maybe it was our missiles that made the difference. So we're using 2 missiles. Obviously the chaff clear is the biggest issue between the scorpion and the tank fight. We're not looking too good, to be honest here. So interesting. So it's actually the wasps here that makes the difference. And look how big of a loss that was. All right, let's say we want to go Phantom Rays because, in retrospect, I don't mind the Phantom Rays. It's not that bad, right? Maybe it's the fire delivery source that's not the greatest. So you got fire here, just put fire here. Go for another Phantom Ray. Maybe in the middle. Or maybe just like this. 150, 200 left over. Kind of running low on money. What do you do here? Probably need to click this. So I don't think we can upgrade anything. So this is kind of like an all-in, but a little bit better source of fire. I like how the fire is spreading. Feels like we might win here. Nope. Okay. Win by, what is that, 200? So it's not enough to kill him, or 100. Maybe it's the positioning of the fire dogs. And I think this is important because in the new meta that's coming, it's going to be probably a lot of fire. Given the situation with the nerf. Right? Because the sledges are getting nerfed, and this game is basically the reason why it's getting nerfed, because it's so strong that even a 2500 player is losing, and it's kind of like it's not really even like it's easy for me to execute, it's really hard for him to defend. So yeah, the nerf does make sense, right? Because you probably don't, it's probably not great for, it's just not great for the person that's that has to, to defend. All right, well, I don't think you need a missile. So let's see if this is a little bit better in terms of placement. Okay, I like the fire now. Now there's fire on the sides. It wasn't just in the middle. So this is probably pretty good in terms of fire placement. This is probably almost as good as you could have asked. It actually ends up way worse. Which is kind of strange. I initially thought that my placement was bad, but this is getting progressively worse. So it just looks like the answer is wasps, right? That's just what it looks like, which is kind of weird. I wasn't expecting wasps to be the answer to this. You would imagine it's fire because you need to, now with AP shells, you're kind of in trouble, and you need to, I won't even missile. I'll just go, I'll just protect my own chaff. Theoretically, against a high-level opponent, like, you can't afford to. This is what we should have done in initial play. You usually aren't going to be fortunate enough to get a second chance. So the fact that we were still able to make it happen just shows that the tanks are a little bit too strong. He went into Scorpions on round 3. Right? He just, maybe he needed to click the Fang Shield. Maybe he needed to click the loose formation. That I'm not an expert with, but generally you would see those techs. All right. Glad to get a win against Hasburg. I'm not sure when the next time we can do that. We're going to have to probably be playing a different strategy. Thanks. thanks for watching.